10 men went in, and only one man made it out. This is the story of the miners, and what happened here over a century ago. Are the other 9 men dead, or did they make it off the mountain? Be sure to watch until the end to find out. This is the story of the Carver Gulch Massacre. Part 2 of the Canyon of No Echo, Tsipah Wahna. I want to give a special thanks to a channel subscriber, the handle of emailed me saying that he's got some information on this very area. Believe me, I was skeptical due to how remote this canyon is. But as we got to talking, he had information on the canyon, details that only someone that spent time here would know. Whoa. What is sticking out of that rock? Piece of wood? So this is a different route than we've taken on the other trips. Previous routes, see the white? We would come up along that, just below that ridge, hike up the draw right there. So I came a little higher, hoping to find what old told me about. I want to give you an idea of how remote this spot is. First off, never seen anyone here. And this is probably my 10th time coming in now. Yeah, so the only company that I have in here generally is our good buddy, the giant moose. It's funny because I feel as if that giant moose, or multiple, they're in this little canyon more often than they're not. Speak of the devil, look, I'll show you a sign of him. Speaking of the moose, I can smell him, or what I hope to be the moose. Better the moose than Bigfoot or something. There's a very distinct smell, and then look at this. What that is urine that he stepped in. Yep, no, that's not new. You have 10 miners, full of hope, set out on what seemed to be an ordinary job, hoping that this is the one they strike it rich, that big payday. Our friend gets to telling me about a whole new story of the Cursed Canyon. In the late 1800s, there's a group of 10 miners that came back up in here for whatever reason to dig a mine, or whatever you call it. Now remember, this is the old days. We're talking lanterns, shovels, buckets, everything you're just cutting by hand. As the story goes, the men were up here for 3 to 4 months. Long story short, 10 men came in and only one man made it out to tell the story. We're about to the spot where we're going to drop in. Whoa. What is that? Okay, what the hell was that? So, we've got some kind of, what would that be? Like to ward off evil spirits. Why in the world is there decorative bones hanging up in this tree? We've seen some spooky stuff in here, a lot of odd stuff, but come on, that's
That is freaky. We are on the hunt for the old mine. Not sure what's left of it, but we're gonna find out. Using satellite imagery and the information gave me, I was able to find a spot that I believe is a mine shaft or mining area. Shouldn't be too much further now, so we'll keep pushing.
The story takes place in the late 1800s. At first, everything is normal, but then strange things begin. Tools vanish, then reappear. Shadows move beyond the lanterns.
This little hideout. Just saw another one of those hanging bone. Beside the obvious reasons, what's spookiest about those is they don't look that old. Like someone's recently putting that up in here. Was it because I was up here from the last one? I didn't see him last time. I don't know. Not gonna let it sway me though, we're still going in. This little opening right here, giving me the feel of a camp for some reason. You got the darker dirt. Shows you there was a fire here once upon a time, possibly. It's a nice chip. This rock right here looks out of place to me. Little chip. Hey, there's another one. Wonderful. What the fuck is that? Oh, look at that. Another one. Okay, so I think we're getting close to somewhere. Getting close to somewhere good. Is that a warning to stay away? Is that to ward off the evil spirits? I don't know. Map is telling me that we're getting close. At least we're getting close to the spot that I had marked. Let's see. Pretty neat sandy area. Must get like trapped in here with the winds. That's what we found. Look at this. Whoa. Wow. Can you imagine the amount of work with shovels? We gotta get down there. Okay, so this is just a big hole so far. See if we can find a open shaft anywhere. So look at all the rocks I'm standing on here. This is the tailings from that giant hole back there. I tried to do some digging, some research on what indeed they would be mining for in this area, because there are other mines around, like not far from here. Didn't get anything definitive. You got everything gold, silver, and on down the list. Look at that right there. It looks like a P inscribed in that rock. Look at this. Some metal cable, some old metal buckets, some wood. Whoa, bingo. Okay, so look, your wire is tied off to this wood that's buried. Then you tie this wire to yourself, and you lower yourself down in that hole. I don't think so.
And then the sounds began. A giggle, childlike, playful at first, then constant and invasive. Men begin to hear their names. Walls echo their fears. Some claim to see your pale figure, hollow eyes in the shadows.
I'm gonna get my glow sticks and toss them in there.
What do you see?
The voice drives the men to paranoia. Lanterns shatter, equipment breaks. Some men vanish screaming. Others follow the voice willingly, disappearing into deeper tunnels. Only one man returns, silent and hollow-eyed.
So this is that hole that we were looking down on. We were right up on that ledge. What is this floor made of? This squishy old deep. Pretty strange. Hope I don't go flying through it. So when a big rainstorm comes, all the water washes down off this edge, and along comes with it all these pine needles, I reckon. Wonder if they use dynamite. I mean, I guess they would have to, right? So the story goes 10 men in, a group of 10 miners, came in to do this job for whatever reason, hoping to strike it rich, like everyone was back then. And their camp, I don't know where it was, but all around here, I imagine. So things went how they go in the beginning, however that may be back then. The first month, nothing too major happening. Some guys would hear some weird noises, or some equipment would be moved, stuff like that. But there's a lot of alcohol being drank as well, so they're not sure, whatever. Well, second month, a couple of the guys claim they've seen some and they're spooked, but the other guys aren't going for it. We continue working day in, day out, blasting and filling buckets of rock and stacking it up over there. Well, as the shaft got deeper and deeper and they're getting into the darkness of the earth, one of the men claimed to hear a girl's voice way deep in the shaft, and he was convinced on it. But convincing the other men of that didn't happen. So they continue on. Month 3, now pretty much the entire crew is convinced, and pretty much the entire crew has seen or heard something, or both. There's not a lot of detail on what comes next, but whatever it was horrible. I don't know if the men turned on each other, or if the spirit Tsipah Wahna swallowed them up. All I know is that the one man made it down, and that's where the story was born. None of the other 9 guys were ever seen again, according to the story. Reports of the girl that came from the mine shaft, they say a ghostly figure, young girl, and would just torment these men in unknown ways, but torment them enough that they all lost their minds and were never seen again. How much truth is there to the story? I have no idea, but I don't care. I like it. It's a good story. Did you hear that? What the? Oh, wow. Here we go again. It's high time we get off this mountain.
Now, more than a century later, I found something.
What the hell is that? All right, that's enough for me. I've seen enough. That's the 3rd or 4th bone decoration, for lack of a better word, that we've seen. I don't want to see any more. Let's get the hell out of here. What is that? All right, we're going. It's not very easy to move fast through this, but I'm trying. I just saw movement, and I heard something banging around out in the distance. It didn't quite sound as big as that moose. I don't know. What I do know is we are out of here.
This is the place where the miners vanished, where the canyon keeps its secrets, and if you listen closely, you might still hear her giggle, calling you deeper.